Well, good morning, everybody. As Marilee was sharing some of the words from the nature section in the Academy about nature being a textbook, it just reminded me this week I was looking at Flower's book on traveling with inner perceptiveness. In the very back of that book, she was shared a quote by Edwin Way Teale where he basically said that the world is a book. And if we just stay in one place, we only read one page. And so it made me think of how Flower opened this service in that video that Blake put together, where she shared that she led hundreds of people over the years to places where the veils are very thin, the inner worlds can be sensed, and one knows they are in the presence of holiness, places of meaning, beauty, and power. And she encouraged us not only to look and to listen, but to worship. To rise and meet it, she said, behold it, recognize it, salute it, be reverent. To love and worship God, God within, God everywhere, God in every form of life. So beholding God in nature and sensing its inner side was so essential to Flower as both a Christian mystic and a nature mystic, that it's no wonder Flower and Lawrence were drawn here to these grounds to start their ministry. Back in 1940, apparently it was no longer sufficient to simply continue spreading her message, traveling and lecturing, even settling down to start a church. Flower needed a place that offered an inner experience, where the veils are very thin, the inner worlds can be sensed, where one knows they are in the presence of holiness, a place of meaning, beauty, and power. Now, each of us knows, who knows this place, that this is such a place. We are told this was sacred land of the Native Americans hundreds of years ago. We know the previous owners of this land used it for spiritual purposes. But this place is more than sacred or spiritual or having good energy. It emanates a peace and a power, unlike other beautiful sacred places, especially nearby. And I believe it was Flower who grounded this power that we sense here, giving it meaning, when she dedicated this land to the Christ. So for 80 years now, this place has been dedicated to and overshadowed by Christ's light, love, and power. It's funny, I was reminded of this when I stumbled across a letter this week that was sent to Flower. Apparently Dan Willis put together a compilation of letters sent to Flower in the ministry over the years, back when we did the 75th anniversary. I think he named it the Book of Appreciation. And there was one letter in there by a lady, Edna May, who just received a gift, which was a book. And after reading page 52 and 53, she just had to share what she read with Flower, so she sent that to Flower. I think this book was written in 1974 by a woman, Florence de Groot. It was named A Fairy's Workday. And apparently this woman could talk to the nature beings, the fairies, and it seems as if this story was being told from the fairies' point of view. And on page 52 and 53, this fairy in particular shared these words. Did you know, my dear young person, that there is a holy place in California which is dedicated to the Christ, founded by a lady who was born with inner seeing? She always has been able to talk to us. She knows the different lines of angels. She lives as much on the inner side of life as the outer. She and her husband founded a retreat called Questhaven. As far as I know, this woman, the author, had never been here, but this is the nature being knowing of this place. She and her husband founded a retreat called Questhaven, and this is where our beloved angel leader, the leader of this band of fairies, took us to show us what can really happen on this dear old earth of ours. There are millions of nature spirits of all kinds in this wonderful woodland spot. with its special angelic overshadowing because of its Christ dedication. When this lady and her husband used to walk in the evening with their dog and cat, marching reverently along ahead of them, nature spirits came from miles around just to look at these glorious people. You can imagine what an inspiration it was for us to go there. I think she was in New Jersey, so these beings traveled quite a distance. So this place with its thin veils to the inner worlds, this place of holiness, meaning, beauty, and power, will show us what can really happen on this dear old earth of ours when we rise and meet it, behold it, recognize it, salute it, and be reverent. Flower once says that we want to see the beauty that God is painting for us constantly to our visible sight and feel with all our inner beings what is behind that outer beauty. Nature will give us its inner secret, she said, if we worship using not only our 5 senses, but our 6th as well. Flower would often ask those who were on a trail with her, "What do you sense?" She would give them hints about the unique intelligences, energies, colors, sounds emanating from the various locations around them. Some would emanate peace or some power. Some would renew and heal. Others would teach or initiate. Well, in the talk from which our opening video was taken, which was a 1970 vernal retreat, Flower went on to say that in order to receive this instruction, love what you see, appreciate it, remain attuned, receptive to its instruction, desirous for illumination in nature. And as you maintain that type of consciousness, you will rejoice in every part of yourself because you are in attunement. The rhythm of divine beauty and meaning or purpose is now a part of you and you with it. And therein lies the opportunity that we offer right now in our nature service. Or I shouldn't say right now, that we did before the coronavirus shut down and soon after today. To reverently walk these holy grounds, to love what you see, appreciate it, remain attuned and receptive. Rejoice in this place of divine beauty, of meaning or power. And be expectant that nature will give the sermon, unveiling her secrets and mysteries. So I've invited 2 of our leaders from the nature service to speak today, both Rebecca and Jonathan, who Marilee introduced earlier. And I'd like them to share what experiences they've had in nature, and maybe more particularly here at Questhaven, where nature's mysteries may have been unveiled to them. So we'll start with Rebecca, and then we'll continue with Jonathan.